for my first time here. I feel it's been such a nice experience. Oh, thank you.
Perfect.
So now you can just see how dirty my screen is, which is not really
Give it a little
I'm like,
refresh
ooh,
every
there's
now
a
and then.
lot of
Fingers.
fingers.
Give it a couple more minutes.
Um, how much Q&A time?
Um,
I mean,
yesterday
depending
I
on how
started.
many people.
Yeah, yesterday I started Q&A around the halfway mark.
Okay.
So we can.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, it may not be a lot of people, but I love to do Q&A because I feel like that's the part where people get the point.
there's always a lot of questions, no matter how many people. So,
Awesome. I can talk to you.
Oh no, I can talk. I have so many questions. So many questions. I didn't read the chapter, but I found out I read the chapter on YouTube. I listened to the first chapter.
Oh, did
Book
you?
club.
Did you like it?
Yeah, because it reminds me of Told Me How to Get Me
Yeah.
and Evan Winters.
Oh, wow.
It's right in there.
Well, thank you so much.
It's right
Well,
in that pocket.
I have Evan Winter's book and I have Tamir's, but I didn't read them because I was writing The Wolfman at the time, and I never read in the genre that I'm writing in.
See, that's one of my questions, because it's like.
Okay. Sorry, I'll say that again.
No. It's great because.
Yeah, but I have I got the hard edition. I ordered it early, so they sent me the little poster from the publisher. Like I was very thirsty, but I was very thirsty. But I was like, I'm gonna set you aside and read you in like 3 years.
Yeah, that's gotta be hard for you. It's like you don't wanna. Well, I would say save that conversation.
Yeah.
I got remind myself to keep the good stuff. Wait one more second.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for coming.
Hello, Jay. He's a very powerful.
Wow, okay, we'll do that. Hello. Oh, wow. It's not playing at all. You're like, I'm gonna hear it outside. We're hearing this. All right. Let's do this.
All right. Welcome everybody to our panel on Healing Lit. With my friend here, Cerece. Is it Rennie or Renee? Rennie?
Yeah.
Cerece Rennie Murphy. She's the author of several works of speculative fiction.
Absolutely.
Wolf Queen, that's the one I started on. I have one called Between Two Seas, that's her latest book. And we're just going to be talking about her writing process, her creative process. And before we get started, we actually had one more panelist that was supposed to be here. And she passed away days before we would have met her for the first time today. And it was so sad. Her name was Sean Colvin. And we want to make sure that we give her a shout out to the creator of Beautiful Soldiers, the comic book. And she's one of the first African American women to own a comic book shop in the South. So she was a very successful young woman. She died in her 30s. Still a bishop. I'm not sure.
It was my understanding is that she was feeling unwell, went to the hospital, and might have had an allergic reaction, and it just spiraled.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really.
So we would give her a couple moments of silence before we get started.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. So now we're going to pick it up a little bit and Give yourself a round of applause. I appreciate y'all coming out.
Yes, thank you.
My name is Imani Latif. I'm the moderator and host of this panel. I am the creator of Black Comics Universe. You can find that online at blackcomicsuniverse.com. And I am, again, I'm interviewing my friend Cerece Rennie Murphy. And as I said, she writes speculative fiction, and I always like to ask this question about my writer friends. We're both fans of Octavia Butler.
Yes, indeed.
And so Octavia Butler had this notebook, you're familiar with it, where she listed all of her accomplishments.
Yes.
So basically, before Octavia Butler became famous, she listed everything that she was going to ever accomplish on the back of this notebook.
Yeah.
And if you Google it, you'll see the back of this notebook. And it says, I'm going to be a successful best-selling author. That's the very first line. And it said, I'm going to be best-selling author in New York, Los Angeles, all around the world. I'm going to win prestigious awards, and she's won NFL awards and stuff like that. It's like the full back of this. It's literally like someone, as if someone scribbled, some kid scribbled on the back of the notebook. That's how she listed this thing. And she knocked out every single one of those things. So I always have to ask my writer friends, like, have you mapped out your career like that? Or are you just sort of like playing it by ear, enjoying this, what comes to you?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. The short answer is probably not. I have interim goals though. My goals are to write every story that comes to my head. I am someone who did not ever think I would be a writer. I used to tell myself I could not write anything longer than 5 pages. I have written poetry since I was 11, never shared it. I wrote my first short story in my early 20s. And I realized I'm not a writer. Literally up until maybe 6 years ago, I used to say, I'm not a real writer. Like, by that time, I probably said, am I a writer? It was just like, stop.
Right.
You know, like, it was just, so, but what I do feel passionately about is the stories that have been given to me. To have original ideas feels like an incredible blessing. And I believe a blessing is not complete until it's shared. And so every story that comes to me, I will write it. And so I'm on a good path for that goal. I prayed for success. I did write it in a notebook, but I said, I don't want it in a way I can't handle it. At the time, I had 2 young children, and the thought of like being on a New York Times bestseller tour or something was terrifying.
Wow.
My baby was like a year, and I did not want to do that. And so I just said, God, I want success. And I'm a spiritual person, deeply spiritual, but not at all religious. So the God will understand what that is. I said, God, I want success, but I want it in a way that I can handle it. So my first book did not become New York Times bestseller. Despite me not telling anyone, I can't believe what happened. We'll talk about marketing and understanding that later. But I just, that's really my goal, is to tell the best story that I can and to connect with people. And so I am meeting that goal. In terms of, I love to win awards, but understanding what that means and what it doesn't, as I've gotten more mature in the industry, it's not really my focus. My focus is connecting with readers and telling the stories that I've been given.
Gotcha.
That's it. Yeah.
No, I like it. I'm familiar with the poetry aspect.
Yeah.
Used to be a poet as well. So what drew you to the science fiction or speculative genre specifically, as opposed to other ideas or ways of telling these stories?
So I've been a sci-fi fan since my mom took me to see Empire Strikes Back at Uptown Theater in Washington, D.C. when I was 7. Yes, and the theater, I remember where I was sitting. I had Yoda as my first crush. And I mean that seriously. there's no reason to think not that that's unreasonable because he was strong with the force. Remember his little how he could cook. He was so smart. He was so smart. And I just thought his 20 years was the best. And I was 7. So it was like, yeah. Oh my gosh. There was so much going on with him. So, but as I said, I never thought I would be a writer until, must have been 2010 or 11. I was washing the dishes and got the idea for Over the Seers while I was washing the dishes. I could suddenly see this man with a cataract-like film over his eyes and ash blonde hair, even though he was a black man from Tanzania. I knew he was a seer, I knew he could see the future, I knew he was a slave to that ability, I knew it was an international conspiracy, I knew the name of the book, Order of the Seers. There was this drug that he was given called Lyrium, and I had that word in my mind. That was the reason for like his appearance. And this entire story came to me while I was washing the dishes. And if you've been a sci-fi fan for as long as I have, when you get an original idea, I remember thinking, I don't even know if I can write this story. I wanted to see how it would end. And if I didn't write it, I wouldn't know it's how. I'm just gonna try it. At that point, I wasn't thinking of publishing, I wasn't thinking of anything. I just wanted to see how the story ended. And that's how my writing career started. But what drew me to the genre is because I believe this science fiction and speculative fiction is a deeply spiritual genre. It's about all the most important questions in life. Who are you? What is your role? What is your responsibility to yourself? What is your responsibility to the community that you exist in? And what is your true potential? Really? And that's what all my books are about. That's why I love speculative fiction. To me, it's to the meat of life quickly and with like spaceships. So that's awesome.
I like that because, like I was saying, I was reading the Wolf Queen. Well, I was listening. If you go to her YouTube channel, she reads several chapters of the Wolf Queen on her. And she's very good at this. Like, you're very good at this. Like, I was like, you should probably sell that audio book too. But yeah, I can hear how sacred the scenes and the characters and the words are, and so I definitely see where you're coming from, and how you approach speculative fiction in that way, and that's what I enjoyed about the book. It's like also I noticed that the characters have sacred roles. You know, no. They have very important sacred roles. Like you're not just some woman or man or woman on the street. It's like, no, you have a specific role, duty to your community. Is that something that you're trying to share and express to the readers?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the quest, for better or worse, that I'm on. Figuring out what is my true potential. And then how can I use that potential to make my community better? And I think that's the question that each of us has to answer. And so it's what I'm exploring internally, and it's what's most interesting to me about speculative fiction and the stories. Because we all have sacred roles in each other's lives, whether we recognize it or not, whether we understand ourselves that way. We are all here for a reason, and it's real for a reason. And I can be of service to you, you can be of service to me, if we choose that. And I think that's one of the things I love. Speculative fiction is always bringing that to the forefront, right? What do you do here? And why? So yeah, I love that.
Right, and like I was saying, I'll give you a compliment. If you're familiar with Tony Adeyemi, Children of Blood and Bone, or Evan Winters, Fires of Vengeance. Cerece's work is right in our wheelhouse. So if you're fans of that work, Soul and Sorcery style of speculative fiction, this is what these books are. Very well written. I want to ask a technical question. So, like I teach kids like storytelling and comics and stuff like that. And just like all of us, we have these stories where we start, everybody's got like tens of thousands of these, sitting around the house. My job when it comes to classes, I tell them it's like, I'm here to help you finish. Help you get to the end of it. So like, you've had that inspiration, it came out one eye, you were washing dishes, this girl came to you, what was it like, how did you get to the end?
Yeah.
How did you finish?
Thank you for asking that question, because sometimes writing can seem like this amazing, such a mythical thing, and it is not. How you finish your book is you start and you don't stop until you're finished. That is it, and that is all. You know what I mean? It's not the views, and it's not any of those magical things. It's you and your sweats, with all your doubt and all your angst, and getting, oh man, so much I want to talk about here. Getting out of your own way.
Yes.
Because one of the big things about writing is that you feel like it's about you. You're the one with the pen, you're the one with the computer, and you're wondering why I don't have an MFA, or I do have an MFA, or so-and-so writes so much better, and you're thinking all these things. But the truth is, it has nothing to do with you. It is about the characters and the story, and you are the vehicle for that. So you need to get out of the way of the story so that the characters and the story can come through you and on the page. And you as the writer are privileged to be a part of that. But it is not about you and your doubts and who wrote better than you in third grade and oh my gosh. So much so, but your fear as a writer, I have to say, it's a maze for me in the beginning. I would start each time I remember writing, who do you think you are? You don't have any real training in this. And then I would get through the trauma of that to write a couple pages, and the next day, the maze of my fear would change. You'd be like, oh, well, yeah, you wrote yesterday, but how are you going to write anything good today? And last chapter was good. This was promising myself. And then I would get through that, and then another day would be like, oh, well, you don't have an MFA. When's the last time you read Toni Morrison? You don't write like her. I mean, every day it would be something different. What I like to tell writers is the doubt doesn't go away, but your kung fu gets better. So you like, who do I think I am? Yeah, I don't know who I am, but today I'm writing this chapter. That's who I am today. And you get through that, and the criticism that will knock you down to you all day, maybe in the beginning, you'll get over it in like 30 minutes. So you just learn to move through your fear so that I'm all over your question, so that you can just write the dang story. Because you can always learn to do what's not coming over. All you need is your first draft. Then you get great editors who can help make it better, who can tweak it, but they can't do anything if you don't get the darn story down. So that's your only job. There are a couple things that help me do that from a technical standpoint.
Okay.
First of all, when I started writing, my son was 3.5, and my daughter was not, was pregnant, but then, So I was exhausted, like 1 nap away from a complete collapse. And I used to go to bed at 7:30 at night, just like it never happened again. And I would write from like 8 to 10. How I did that is because when I got a chance to write, I would be exhausted. So I could not then figure out what I was going to write. So what I do is I do a story outline and a chapter outline beforehand. So I'm figuring out the entire arc of the story. It might take me a page, 2 pages, depends on how long, but you know where it starts and where it ends, in general. You don't have to hit everything, but just so that you hold the full idea of the story in your mind.
Yes.
From there, I do a chapter outline. It could be like 3 sentences, and I have, I just updated my website, but I think I have it. I got sample chapter outline for Northern State University. It could be a paragraph and some dialogue, depending on what comes to my head, or it could be like 3 sentences. But the point is, what happens in that chapter, and what is the reason for someone to turn
That's what you're figuring out with every chapter that you write. So that when you then, and what that does for me is, and I still do this, so when I come to the page, exhausted at the end of the night, because now my father is born and there's all kinds of stuff going on all the time, I don't have to think about what am I writing. Because if I think about that, I'd be halfway through book one and you would not be able to get right now.
Right.
So I think, I come to the page and I'm, okay, what am I writing? And look at the chapter right, my chapter outline. I already told myself what's going to be this chapter. All I have to do is, okay, you know, Liam meets Lily. Fine. Then I write longhand, so I open my notebook. And now I don't have to figure out the story. I've already done that while I was at the grocery store, while I was stuck in traffic. I've already figured out what's going to happen. Now all I have to do is open my mind to the characters. Because the why or the how, not the why, the how it happens is always a surprise. And then I'm an audience. I'm listening to my characters over and over. I didn't know that. And it's so exciting. And I don't have to think, I just have to listen. And that is how I write my books. Does that make sense?
No, I want to tell you before I forget, because the idea that I think sometimes when I try to tell stories, I get caught in the how.
Yeah.
I get tripped up in the how, so like, well, I could analyze the how for days, like, well, if I can't get this word in, you know, but I like the idea of don't think about the how, that surprise in the process. So instead of trying to map out every single detail, you know, just let those things come to you and you map out the basics, like what room you're going to be in, what day it'll be, you know, the basics.
Or even an action. What happens in this chapter? Why is this a compelling chapter? And then how, because Liam kills the bounty hunter. How does he do that? Okay, they just came back from camping, that was in the next chapter. They come back and Liam kills the bounty hunter. How does that happen? What things are in the room is he using to kill this person? What happens to Lily when she sees her brother kill him? What is Liam, how does Liam feeling about this fact? What does that lead into in the story? All of that is magic. And I don't necessarily know that at the chapter outline phase. But I know that in this chapter, in order to move this story forward and to make you want to turn to the next chapter, Liam needs to kill somebody.
Somebody died.
So that's so yeah, you just trust yourself, and it takes time to learn how to trust yourself enough to not have all the details worked out. But what I can say is that the more you show up for your story, the more your story shows up for you. So if you stay with it every day, every other day, if you can write every day, do that. You know, Walter mostly writes every day, and he's like, that is the formula. Well, shoot, if you got, you know, if you're caring for young ones or your parents or who knows, you might not get a chance to write every day. But make a commitment to, is it every other day? Whatever the schedule is going to be for you. You know your life, I know. Make a commitment and show up. And because writing is just a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you get. It's not magic, it's practice. And so with that practice comes the confidence to dive into a scene that you can't see clearly and know that you'll figure your way out, and you will see it as it comes. Oftentimes though, when I don't see it right away, because my characters, like I said, they talk to me, they show me, they tell me what's happening, I'll see it in my head. And sometimes I won't see something, and I realize I don't understand enough about the scene I'm trying to write to then for them to tell me. So I might need to go and do some research. You know, if it's a medical scene, like, okay, how is this doctor, you know, opening up his chest? Well, the character can't tell me if I don't really have an understanding of it. I'll go and do some research, and it never fails. The scene comes to me. The characters go, well, yeah, I didn't know what I'm talking about. I tried to tell you before, you want to know, because you had done research. So all of that is part of it, but knowing that the story literally cannot get outside of you. You are the creator of the story. It is in you. If you can't access it, there might be research, there might be time, there might be the math, let's be honest. But the story cannot get away from you. You are the keeper of the story. So, learning to trust yourself, but that takes time, but it's, the more you do it, the easier it gets. I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Great. Back to the idea of using the vehicle of speculative fiction.
Yeah.
Do you find that speculative fiction, besides sci-fi, empowers or gives your characters more agency than if it was, say, a romance or a slice of life story, something like that?
I don't know if that's true. Speculative fiction is my favorite genre, so I'm totally biased. I think, like I said, I think it gets to the meat of life sooner and the cooler stuff. I do feel that speculative fiction, or this is speculative fiction that I read, and like, the characters have more agency. Like I was, in the two of the readers that the writers that I'm writing are romance writers. And they talk about stories and guys that were total jerks that somehow become the hero of the story. I mean, real jerks. And I'm like, we kill that guy in speculative fiction. And then the real hero shows up, or heroine shows up. And it makes me feel bad. I feel like it's unreading in the best way. Because when they describe some of the heroes in romance, I'm like, yeah, he gets eaten by somebody. You don't redeem that guy. Or that girl. So, I do love that aspect of speculative fiction. But it might just be the speculative fiction that I read. And maybe you guys know some stories where you're like, why did she dead already?
No. Most of the speculative fiction that I read, the characters are powerful or fun or come into power.
Yeah.
And it's something, and they receive like those gifts that they receive, whether it's some type of power or magic or in any number of different ways. It empowers them in ways. It gives them an extra, extra thing where in real life you might not ever come to that.
Yeah.
But that advantage, what I love about it is like once they are in that position, it opens them up to all these other opportunities so you can tell all these other fantastic stories now that they're not burdened with being, whether it's being oppressed or being looked down upon and all these stuff. They find a way to succeed and become the true hero of their stories.
I feel like speculative fiction, it takes what we think of as ordinary and makes it fantastic so that you can see it.
Yes.
Because we ignore our powers all day long. The power to encourage someone, to change someone's life.
Right.
Now, in speculative fiction, you have a wand.
Right.
But the truth is, you have that power with every person you meet.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't think of yourself as powerful. You don't think of yourself as magical.
Right.
But speculative fiction takes it out of that and makes it extraordinary so we can see it.
Right.
And hopefully inspire us to be that fantastic in our everyday, which I think is the point. That's what I love.
No, that's why it ties back into that sacred aspect we're talking about. I got an interesting question for you. So I'll put you in the space of some very successful writers. So there's going to come a time where this stage is going to get bigger and bigger. So like I know you have some trepidation about it. Originally, what are you doing to prepare yourself for ultimately the next phase of this possibility? Whether your books come to film or television, all those aspects, because I very much enjoy the idea of writing where it's sort of like just a cup of coffee in front of some cutting hole in my house, that very intimate, process of creating this thing, sharing it with folks and friends, and selling it at events. But it feels like the idea that once it gets into the hands of mass media and thousands of people, like, what are you doing to prepare yourself for
All of that.
all of that?
Well, that's a deeply personal question, but no, because I've been on that journey for a while. What I can say is that I think in the beginning, I thought I had to be somebody else to be worthy of it and to be able to handle it. And now I know that I'm enough. And whatever I am can get the job done. And then it's not like becoming some other person.
Yeah.
It's literally just settling down into who I am.
Yeah.
Good and bad. That's it. And so, yeah, so now I just really focus on just trying to be who I am and flow in that energy, if that makes sense.
No, that's perfect. I like that. That idea of being enough. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to turn it over. Okay, PG, you have me out. Is there any questions for Cerece?
Hi, my name is Ken Jackson. Thanks for coming out here to speak to us. My question is just as a woman of color, how did you overcome just the barrage of anti-Black propaganda in the English language? Like once you gained a grasp over it, realized what you had the power to do yourself.
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Okay, so you should know something about me. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm almost 50 years old. So I was in D.C. when it was known as Chocolate City. Like it was 75% African American, if not more. So my parents are from Grenada and Trinidad. So I was raised by two Black parents who grew up in places where being Black was normal. And then I was raised in a city where being Black was normal. So normal, I don't ever remember talking about being Black. Because everybody was Black, it wasn't a thing. So I talked about Star Wars, and I talked about, rock bands, and I talked about blues, and I talked about, Toni Morrison, and there was this sense that I could be anything. Because in my neighborhood, there were both crackheads and doctors. Quite literally. There were 6 halfway houses on my block, not on my street, on my block. There were also engineers, there were people who own their own businesses, and all of them were Black. So I just thought I could choose my path. So I remember somebody asked me, what made you think that you could write speculative fiction as a Black woman? It had literally never occurred to me that I could. I am the descendant of people who survived the Middle Passage, people who made the impossible happen. They survived unimaginable horror and hoped and created and thrived. So yeah, I could write a book. I could do pretty much whatever I want. And that's how I thought of it. And that's how I still do. I'm incredibly inspired by the tradition that made my life possible. And it's very hopeful. Also, because of that, I never looked to media for examples of myself. I literally lived in an entire community. So the images of women when I was growing up on TV were by and large embarrassing. So when I looked to my community and there were women doing all kinds of amazing things. And so, I realized it's a really rarefied space that I grew up in. That's why knowing that I'm from Washington, D.C. is really sort of foundational to who I am. But when I first started writing, and I wanted to publish Word this year was my first book, I was told that there was no audience for my book. I was told that Black people don't read science fiction. Obviously, I'm Black and I do read science fiction. White people don't read Black authors, and no one reads science fiction from a woman. That's what I was told. As I sent queries out to traditional publishers, you know, this is really well, we just don't think it'll be commercially successful. Code for, we don't think that anybody will, go with it. Now, the quickest way to get me to do something is to tell me I can't do it. I don't like being told what to do. I have my own house. I don't need yours. You know what I mean? So I went to New York Comic Con. My book had been out for a month. Everyone told me there's nobody that's going to buy your book. You're a woman, this is your first book, all this stuff. I sold over 100 copies of that one book to every type of person there is. And that let me know that they don't know anything. I realized at that moment that I could have as wide an audience as I dared. Because remember, I go back to what I said in the beginning, this is not about you. This is about a story that connects, reaches in and connects with somebody. And there's plenty of evidence that that is true. People of color writing books is nothing new. All kinds of people all over the world who've been buying books are people of color. This is nothing new. Don't believe that. Do what you want. Does that answer your question?
Thank you so much.
All right. Anybody else? And that goes for anybody, by the way. Do what you want. Okay. They don't know.
Before I got the mic, I wasn't there to snap away. First, I want to say that you mentioned I told you this, but and I'm reading a book now, Pleasure Activism, and a whole chapter about Utopia. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
So that was wow. And then when you said how your book writing process, you just write outline, it clicked in my head that you can apply that with anything. I'm working on a big project at Jack, and all I have is outline, and it's like big. So I guess my question or comment is, you can have these outlines, but it's who you present it to that gets involved. Like you said, you can just write a story, and you've got the editors, they can take the rest of it. So good editors do the same as good liaisons in my work. So the outlines you make it happen. Does that sound right?
Absolutely. One thing I want to say about an editor is you want to make sure that you have someone that is committed to the story you are trying to tell. Not the story they think you should tell, not the story they would like to read. And if those are relevant for you, that is not what you're paying for. So, but you have to, so make sure as you submit your story or whatever, explain to them the story that you're trying to tell. It's easier if you have a story outline, but if not, the conversation will work. Make sure that they are fluent in the genre that you're writing in, because the truth is, particularly if you're trying to be traditionally published, there are certain beats you have to hit. And so you want, if you are trying to go to a traditional publishing, you want to make sure that the editor that you're using is familiar with those beats. They know what the expectations are, so that they can tell you if you're going to miss that and help you get one track. You have more leeway if you're independently published, but the truth is, the reader doesn't care. If you say they want a fantasy, you're shaking your head, no, we don't. They want a good story. They don't want to hear how, I was traditionally published, so I decided to scrap the editing and, interpret advance. So it's about you, because those are what those expectations are based on, is a reader's understanding of where the story is. But I would say you probably have a little more freedom to test that and try different stories if you're independently published. And then readers appreciate that. Literally, I always say, readers come to a con like this to get stuff they can't get at Barnes & Noble. There's no need for them to pay money to come in here. And they're looking for something that they can't find anywhere. They're looking for something different. And so I think that it makes us as independent creators, we, and others, really qualified to speak to that desire. Does that answer your question? Okay. I didn't got a question back there. I don't know why you're yeah.
I do have a question. Which do you, so once you get past the writing phase, you finish your book,
Yeah.
you got it all, the cover done, everything together, it's printed, it's ready to go. How much do you enjoy, if at all, the marketing and the sales side of it? Or are you working towards the day where you can just write and the publisher takes care of the selling and the marketing? Or do you always see yourself being a part of the entire process?
I like control. I love being able to bring my stories to readers exactly how I want to. It is hard to imagine a scenario. Because like I said, my stories are lessons to me.
Yes.
It's hard to imagine a scenario where I trust someone else with the story more than me. Because I have the duty to tell it.
Right.
And I see that all the way through. So there probably is a scenario where a publisher does that, but I can't imagine that scenario right now. I believe in unicorns, it's like a writer, so sure that happened. In terms of do I enjoy marketing? Online marketing, I don't understand at all. It's a struggle for me to get it, and I look forward to finding people who can help me do it right. I love when I get to tell a reader about the book I just finished. I love this process. It is just, because it's a very rare and solitary thing, right? You have no idea what's going to read your book. So when I get a chance to actually tell somebody about the story, and then they're like, oh yeah, that sounds like my jam. And then they buy it, and I'm like, that person's gonna read my story as they're walking away. It's just, it's the icing on the cake. It's not the cake, because the first person who received the name of the story is me. Finishing it, so that's the cake. Finishing it, and then hearing from my editors that it makes sense to them. That's the icing. And then it's ready to bring. And then that's this beautiful cherry. But yeah, I just hope that I can find a team that can help me market that. But no, I mean, that scenario can happen, that's not my goal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I have trust issues.
No, I totally understand that. So you didn't mention earlier about it. Was there any other tips that you are successful at? Are you good at? That you are good at?
Yes, I love to meet readers and I love conventions. I know friends who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and they don't leave their house. Find a lane that works for you. Everything isn't for everybody. If you're an Instagram person, working. If you're a TikTok, if you're a newsletter person, know that do what you do and do it well. You know what I mean? I think, because it's about connecting. If you're on TikTok or Twitter and you're not really into it, everybody can tell. You're not fooling anyone. So find the thing that you're excited about and do that, because you can give it genuinely. It gives you joy. It doesn't feel like a chore, because life is hard enough.
No, that's perfect, because I feel like, especially online, there are more people selling you on social media tricks on marketing than they're actually selling anything. So like they're trying to get you to join TikTok, and then they want to sell you on, okay, I can teach you how to use TikTok. And then once you get then by the time you have figured out TikTok, you forgot how to sell whatever it is you're there to sell. Oh, just write a book. It's like, it becomes very overwhelming.
It can, but only if you're not into it. Like I have a friend who thought she would never be on TikTok. Then she got on TikTok, she took a class, she's absolutely loving it. So again, it's just, but find your lane. Look, you have to be on here, you have to be on there. You don't have to do anything. No. You could write your book, edit it, and put it under your bed. You could do that. So but you have to spend your time. And I believe in spending your time in meaningful ways. So find what works for you. Because if it works for you, you're going to put your heart into it, and you're more likely to be successful that way. Don't just run around because this person and that person said it. I just think you're not going to be able to sustain it, and you're not most likely going to be able to do well enough to make a difference.
Now, you have some children's books here that are illustrated,
Yes.
but have you had the idea to possibly illustrate or create a graphic novel around the your work?
Yes. Readers have said, hey, what are you going to do with graphic novel? I would love to do that, but it's a whole different mode of storytelling.
Right.
Because I get to, with curation. So I put all my words on the page.
Right.
You don't get to do almost any of that graphic novel. And so understanding there's a huge difference between someone who can draw a pretty picture and tell a story with a picture.
Yes.
And I had to waste thousands of dollars planning that little tip. So
Yes.
so that's a whole process, and I would love to do that, but I'm not in that headspace to learn an entirely new way of storytelling yet. But I look forward to it. And with the project that I'm working on now, she clearly wants to be more than a book, which is weird because I'm like, you need your more than a book books for what I do. Like, why are you with me if you don't want to? And so I'm not sure what manifestation she will actually take. I mean, she could possibly be a screenplay, she could be a graphic novel, and a book. And I'm just like, but I'm like, you know what, Cerece? Read, story outline, just get the story down and you will figure out what's going on later. So that's where I am. So that may be sooner than anything.
Are there any other genres that you like to explore?
I wrote a historical romance. So that seems fairly random for a speculative fiction writer. I'll write every story that comes to me, no matter what it is.
Okay. So like possibly horror or anything like.
Yeah, I wrote about a murderous fairy fantasy. And that's pretty horrific. But I wrote it, so yeah, who knows? I mean, you never know. I mean, I'm a scared cat, so if I write horror, I'm like, she's pretty grown. But yeah, who knows? I'll write every story that comes to me. That's my plan.
Well, thank you. I think we're pretty close to our time. I want to make sure that everyone knows. Any more questions at all? I want to make sure everyone knows how to find Cerece. Go to her website, CereceRennieMurphy.com. That's what's up here. So up here. And she's at B16?
B16?
B16. Down that way, right? B16. Any more questions? Anyone's? You made a good time. Yeah.
I did have one quick comment. As part of my job, I have to write technical documents, and I'm a huge fan of just finding the right phrase, even from a technical standpoint. But when I write, I have to have 2 hours uninterrupted. I get nothing else on my desk. And the thing I really appreciated that you said today was, I'm at program, I'm at the grocery store, I'm kids to school, and how you weave that into your day. That's a big change in thinking.
Absolutely, because you don't always have the luxury. You're not, Hemingway, you can't necessarily go off to Cuba and sit there with a cocktail for months. That you can go forth. But if you can't, then work it out in the grocery store. And if you got to, right on the back of that receipt. But yeah, get it in, just get it in. Because it doesn't matter once it all comes together, it's a story. just, you don't have to do it anyway, but how do you need to do it? Thanks. Spider-Man, do you have any questions?
All right, thank you guys for your time, and that's about it.
Thank you so much, Imani. This is awesome.
All right, you're welcome.
And thank you guys for coming so much. I can't wait to read your stories. I see everyone's here because they're a writer. No, not necessarily. All right. Well then, thank you so much.
You good at it.
Excuse me. Yep, your website did you do, like top rated Black indie creator covers
I do cover
on your website? Like, did you have a feature with a bunch of different,
indie cover.
yeah,
I have two websites now, Peep Game Comics and Black Comics Universe.
yeah, the Black Comics Universe?
Yep, that's
You did that?
Yeah.
Okay, you featured one of my covers on your page.
all right. What book?
It's City Hair.
What's that?
City Hair?
City Hair.
Yeah. It was the cover for the first issue. That's where when you said Black Comics Universe, I was like, I think I've been on that
Oh,
website.
that's
I
awesome.
have to check it out. City Hair.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you have to show me.
Yeah, I will. At some point. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
And you're at B16,
Yeah, yeah.
and you have Wolf Queen there.
I have just a couple copies of the first one. Yes.
Okay, I'd love to.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
yeah.
over there.
Oh,
Get it.
cool. Well, you're already doing what you want. Yeah, don't listen to. They don't know. They don't know us.
Yeah,
We survived the middle passage. Literally, we could do anything.
last semester.